Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus La Soul and I'm back. So, got a kind of nigga rig set up for right now. My desk, it fell apart. Um, it served me for a couple years, but we moved recently and it didn't survive the move. So I gotta get a new desk or maybe get something more um, something a little higher for my neck or whatever. But so for right now, I'm using my Force and I'm using my laptop as a sound source, and I'm using my software, which is Bitwig, and I got, so you can hear what I'm doing. Um, I got one of the speakers coming out the phone over here, so you can hear what I'm doing. But I'm gonna talk you through what I'm doing. So basically, I have one of those cables that people record off their phone. I got it hooked up into the headphone jack, and I have the audio come out the headphone jack into the inputs in the back of the Force. So I'm gonna open up a new project. I'm gonna delete the plugin. I'm gonna add a MIDI track, and I'm gonna add a drum track. And then I'm gonna set the monitor to auto on the audio track, set the output MIDI from the Force, and then MIDI send to the MIDI track from the drum track. So if I pull up any type of drum sound, it can be triggered from the pads. So the launch pad is just basically for me to have a physical way of controlling Bitwig. So right, so let's get some stuff laid down real quick. Right, so here's some drum sounds. Let me lay down a hat pattern real quick. Right. Right, so I got that right. So what I do, I push record, right? I arm the audio track, and then I launch, and it's gonna record it. All right. Then I'm gonna name it hat loop. And then I process it. Let me stop this so you can hear what I'm saying. So basically, under the processing, I used to do normalize, because obviously the sounds ain't gonna come in super hot because I'm using this headphone jack thing from my laptop. So what I'll do is go to gain change, and I'll use that to adjust the hat sounds, you know, if it's, or any, not hat sounds, but any of the samples, right? But I'm not gonna do this on this loop with the hats, right? Convert it to a drum track, and then what I'm gonna do is go to that drum track, select it, and place it, and delete everything else. And it's perfect. Now, I know a lot of people, they're real funny about, you know, the audio tracks and the loops having a little space at the beginning and stuff like that. But once you do it like this, everything's in time, bro. So let me lay down some kicks real quick. Okay. Now I'm layering up the kick sound, so I don't have to really do that much gaining whenever I process it. So I'm layering my samples. Yep, and then repeat the process. So I got my kick drum, it's punching. Yep, layer it up, repeat the process. This shit makes it hella easy, bro. Alright, and then this snare loop. I'm just gonna make something really simple so you can kind of see my process now that I'm using this kind of setup. And it's to me, this is like old school style. Yep, and then copy. So you got that drum pattern. So now, let me add some type of keyboard sound. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use some of my third-party plugins, right? So I'm gonna use the Model 15 for Mode. I bought this like years ago, but I didn't really use it like that. And then I'm gonna go chromatic. See if I can go up. No, I like it lower, so let's make a loop. So we gotta. Right. So it's that simple. Like, so basically, the recap, right? I have Force sending MIDI out through 5-pin dung MIDI to USB to the laptop. I also got the blue USB cable that comes with it connected to the laptop as well. I don't know, it works that way. Even though it doesn't really do anything. All the MIDI is coming from outside of the 3.5 connectors to the 5-pin dung MIDI to the USB. I got the audio coming from out of the laptop into the inputs of the Force, and I have the audio track armed to pick up the sounds whenever I want to record a loop, right? And I set up a MIDI track and a drum track. The MIDI track is so I can play keys and bass lines and melodies. And then the drum track is if I want to play any of the drum sounds, but I have that MIDI sent to the MIDI track from the drum track so that whatever pad I'm hitting is hitting a particular MIDI note that will trigger the sound in my DAW, which is Bitwig. And I'm using Bitwig's stock sounds as well as the Model 15 from Mode OS app. You can get it at the App Store. It works on the MacBook. It works on my phone. It works on the laptop. I mean, my tablet or iPad. And I also bought the machine software, but somehow I got just the demo. And I got FL Studio on here as well. I can use those as sound sources as well for melodics or for drum sounds. So I have a plethora of sounds that I can pull from my laptop and sample it into the Force. And this is simple. And I learned this basically from studying Arab Music's 10-minute fact challenge. It's on YouTube. on the channel Facts, FACT channel, where they have a 10-minute challenge, and he did it, and he's using his 2500 MPC 2500 with his laptop to get sounds out of his laptop and sampling it into his MPC to make his melodic loops and bass lines and whatever. And he already have his drum sounds in there, and he basically is doing the same concept. Recorder loop. I have a slight advantage because I can have a fixed length on the clip. This is a 4-bar clip, so I know, like, once I make the clip or I'm playing to it, it will start looping after 4 bars. So I got a clean loop, and then basically I process the sample, you know, gain stage it, add some more stuff to it, or trim it up if I feel like it, which I feel you don't have to trim it, and then convert it to a drum track, and then set it on the one, and voila, perfect loop. Right, so I get a perfect loop every time, bro, and that shit is easy. So, you know, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know, it's been a while, but, you know, I always be trying to learn something, or just trying to figure out how I want to do this. I got a new camera angle, bought a tripod, just testing out this angle. Let me know what you think about it. Until the next time, y'all be blessed. Mike out.